So tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your name, what you do, and where you work currently?
My name is Keenan Sumlin. I am the head strength and conditioning coach of the department at St. Francis High School.
Um,
And basically, I'm in charge of all the strength and conditioning for all the sports, depending on whatever the coach really wants me to do. Carry that out. I design programs. I work with one-on-one athletes. I work with the athletic trainer to make sure that anybody that's under rehab or any special orders, I can make sure that they actually follow up with those orders and then help them advance on that. And most of my programs are pretty geared towards that stuff, but I can also give them something a little more advanced too.
nice. Where'd you go to high school?
I started off at Benson High School. That's where I met Mr. Lewandowski, who's my current employer, and or the person who got me here at St. Francis.
Yeah.
But then I transferred to Riverside, and I graduated in 2007.
What about your college experience? Where'd you go to college?
I also had two separate colleges. So I started off at a school called St. Augustine's College. It's now called St. Augustine's University, so it kind of doesn't exist anymore. But
Mhm.
St. Augustine's College in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. I started off down there in the summer of 2007, and then I transferred and went to Whitewater in the. Actually, I took a little bit of time off, but then I went to Whitewater in 2012.
Um, what inspired you to be a strength trainer and coordinator?
I've always loved health and fitness at a young age. I went to this place called the Youth Leadership Academy when I was a kid, and it was kind of more like a more like a military boot camp for the hood,
Mhm.
for kids in the hood that, want a little more structure. And it wasn't that I needed structure; I just needed something to do on weekends outside of the stuff I was already doing. And one of the things they did was they gave us different units of study and different things to practice. And one of the things I really took to was human anatomy. And so my parents, we had books and things like that, and I was reading. Um, the human anatomy as a kid, and it just kind of really stuck to me. I was able to name and identify different bone structures and everything at like the age of 11. So like it kind of just carried on through. And then um, when I went into high school, I played football at Vincent, and then I transferred and went to Riverside. And when I played at Riverside, I got hurt.
Mhm.
And so one of my best friends, Abel J. Deacon, who's actually now a PT, a physical therapist. His brother, his older brother, is actually a physical therapist, the one that helped me with my leg when I got injured. So um, that kind of stuck with me as well, was just like all the things that at home it just kind of really hit home, and that's kind of where I went into school for in college. I went for more so occupational therapy is my emphasis,
Yeah.
but a lot of kinesiology and sports medicine background to it too.
Um, what steps did you take, like throughout high school and college, to get to where you are today?
Um, Mostly it was about a lot of research, a lot of extensive research on making first of all making sure this is what I want to do because you
Hmm.
don't want to waste your life, right? But also just talking to a lot of different people, figuring out this was right for me. At first, I wanted to do PT, but then at that time it was just a master's program. It wasn't doctoral.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that I kind of wish I had gone that route.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also hearing about the price tag on that degree,
It's tough. That's what I'm going through right now is PT,
yeah,
and
that price tag.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
But I commend you for it. It's amazing. It's a huge opportunity, and I do wish I had gone that route at times, but I also love working with the kids, so I'm not against that. So, but the steps that I took, just talking to different professors,
Mhm.
learning from different people. I interned in college as an athletic trainer, so I got a lot of experience doing that. Being able to work in different clinical settings, personal training people all throughout my years. In high school, I even did a little bit of personal training, so it was kind of like a getting my feet wet kind
Yeah.
of thing to see
Yeah.
how it feels. And so I've been personal training since I was like 16 and helping people at the age of 16. So, like I said, all throughout my life, I was able to be around this and kind of get my feet wet and doing this. And it feels more natural than not.
What's your philosophy on strength training, but not only strength training, but injury prevention? Because I feel like strength training goes along with preventing injuries. Like the more you build your muscle, the least likely you are to get injured, type of thing.
That is very true. I'm a firm believer on that, especially with the muscular structures that help
Hmm.
prevent uh, injuries to bones, joints, nerves, things like that. Usually, you see people that have weaker muscles. They tend to not operate the same way,
Yeah,
and it's all about enhancing your activities of daily living, as well as injury prevention, as well as promoting flexibility, improving sleep. Of course, the other stuff, looking good, whatever. That's all the glamour stuff. But when it comes to injury prevention, um, I believe that progressive overload as well as flexibility. Um, I would say more so taking breaks as much as you need to in order to
hmm
listen to your body.
listen to your body. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a big believer on listening to your body, but you still want to push yourself. You still
yeah,
want to make sure you do progressive overload and increase your resistance as you go. And I think that whether you're a boy, girl, man, woman, whatever, it does not matter. No matter what the injury level is, over time, you need to increase that to push past your limit and get back to where you were and past that. So um, I don't want to like kind of just run off on it. I kind of harp on that with the kids because there's a lot of injuries and a lot of ways to prevent injuries. And the biggest thing is that not everything works for everybody. And there's no real cookie cutter way to say, do this and this will help that because
yeah,
everybody's different. So in my experience in my years, I used to take certain workouts that I knew worked for me and I would give them to other people. And then I would see injuries pile up. And I was like, okay, I can't do that. So now I have to tailor what I need to do in order to get the best success out of them. And then it was like, okay, this is working because, pro athletes are doing it, or this is what the latest craze or the latest research suggests that I should do. And it's like, you also got to remember the age group, the age
yeah,
range, the people that you're working with, their limitations, their willingness to work out, their availability to equipment. There's all types of barriers that you need to and you've seen our weight room. It
yep,
it just recently got improved, and even still, it's not even like everything you need. So you have to
yeah,
be very adaptive to what you have. And so with that, um, you just have to be mindful of what you have. Don't overexert yourself, progressive overload, and be mindful of your limitations to improve on your injury and help rehab that.
yeah. What? Give me an example of like a good day on the job and like a bad day on the job.
Mm. Good day. Oh, my favorite. I'll give you a good day. When you see incoming freshmen or sophomores that have never worked out before, and we just had maxes recently,
Hmm.
and even some of the girls that just randomly come in and work out and they want to do better. I just encouraged the girl to join powerlifting, and then eventually she told me when she wanted to do the military. I was like, okay, this is great. She ended up bench pressing like 115 pounds as a
Hmm.
freshman. I'm like, wow, that's amazing, you know?
Yeah,
And you see all these other guys that come in, they never lifted weight before, didn't even know they can do certain things, and you see their face light up and all the energy that everybody, the whole testosterone in
yeah,
the liver in the weight room is so high. That's like one of the best feelings. Everybody's riding that same feeling of adrenaline, and that's kind of one of the best feelings that I get, especially with the job, just seeing them get better, and especially throughout the years, watching them grow and get better. One of the worst days on the job happened, I would say, what's that? Right at the beginning of the season, the football season.
hmm
I was training some of the guys, and um, one of the guys, he's a junior. His name is Peter. Um, obviously, no last name. But Pete was working out and he did the cardinal sin of letting he was squatting and he did the cardinal sin of letting his hand off the bar and he
yep,
went down to brace himself. And it was scary because I had just turned away. I was helping another student and looked back and I hear, Coach K, oh my God, Coach K, help. And I'm like, my mind thought the absolute worst.
yeah,
And it was still pretty bad. But injuries are probably the worst thing that can happen. Um, he, if you don't mind me telling it,
Yeah.
He went down,
Hmm.
braced himself on the bar, and he was squatting 405. And his finger got caught between the bar and the safety bracket, and
Ooh.
it's completely split it.
Yep.
Like it was blood everywhere, and thank God that's all it was.
Yeah.
But it was like, I thought the worst. I've seen worse. I've
Hmm.
seen a plate drop and hit somebody. I've seen a bar flip and hit somebody. Like stuff like that is the worst when you're not paying attention. That's the worst.
Hmm.
So like that's a bad day when somebody gets hurt. I never want to see anybody get hurt. I never want to see anybody push past the limit to the point of pride and they injure themselves doing that, and that's a major setback. So that's a bad damn job to me.
Yeah.
Anything worse than that, that's a horrible damn job, and I'm gonna need some time off.
Just one last question. What are some, if you don't mind me asking, some personal challenges that you've overcame that kind of helped you get to where you are today? Like some things that have stuck with you.
Personal challenges that help me get to where I am. In the past, I actually tried out for the NFL,
Hmm.
and that kind of helped me understand the severity, the seriousness
Yeah.
of sports and how everybody trains differently, how they train, the seriousness of it. I play college ball, I play high school ball. It's serious, but it's only serious as wherever you go. So,
Hmm.
I play D2 ball and I play D3 ball up in Whitewater, D2 down there, playing at Riverside. It's all different, but they're not the D1 athletes. And
Yeah.
so when you go to like the combine and you're down there, you've seen all these other guys, these freak athletes that are just bigger than you, faster than you. And a personal experience I had down at Hollis Hall in Chicago, 6:30 a.m. We're getting our measurements done and
Hmm.
everything, and we're doing our testing. And I thought I was ready. I thought
Yeah.
I was good. And you see me, you see me sometimes practicing with the guys or
Yep.
whatever, like just kind of like showing them different techniques on what to do. I was nothing. This is like prime Coach K, 20, 23 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I was a pebble out there compared to them. I didn't obviously I didn't make it. So
Hmm.
personal that kind of was a wake up call and was like I had a lot to learn, not just about myself and about the game, but
Hmm.
about how to improve. And I felt like that was something that I can take to transfer, not just from my experience, but also from my knowledge and what I gained to help other kids to not just get to the next level, but also start honestly, because some of them don't even know where to start. So
Yeah.
that helps.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I
Yeah,
really,
no
really
problem.
appreciate it. Um,